Hello, and welcome to the Underground Gospel Show. My name is Knight, and I'm your host. You can find more about me and this show at www.knight-music.com. This is the sixth season that I've done this show. I started in 2019 as a way to tell people about the shows I would be doing in 2020. Of course, as we know, the world shut down in 2020, including the touring that I had planned to do. I post every week, and this year I'm having some major dental work done, so I decided to animate this season. Today I'm going to talk about the Great Law. Earl Nightingale called it the strangest secret. James Allen mentioned it many times in his book and said that it was a common theme in all religions. And I believe everyone on earth has a basic understanding of it in the physical world, but very few understand it as a true gift that it is. What is this great truth? What is this great secret? It is what you sow, you reap. I think Jesus said, as you sow, so shall you reap, but it's the same thing. What you plant, you get. If you plant corn seeds, you get corn. If you plant cactus, you get cactus. Now, if you apply this to every area of your life from this moment forward would be truly amazing. I'm going to give you a couple examples now of some stories of friends of mine. I had a friend of mine that was an audio engineer, good friend of mine, who came up to me one time, and he was a little upset. Now, he had been an atheist, and might still be as far as I know, but he said that tithing thing didn't work. And I said, what do you mean it doesn't work? Because it seems to work fine for me. He said, well, I got a bunch of equipment a couple years ago. So there's a church down the street, and they needed a sound man. So I volunteered my time on Saturday and on Sunday to go to the church, and to volunteer my time every Sunday morning, and I went to the church and I ran sound for them. Now, I volunteered my gear, I volunteered my time. I've been doing it for a year now, and I gotta tell you, I just got laid off a job that I was on. I was on a road gig, and I got laid off, and so I now have all this time on my hands. And while I was on the road, I collected a bunch of gear from people, and so now I have this house full of gear. That's not what I wanted. I said, well, what did you want? He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, why did you do it? He goes, well, I was hoping that I'd get another gig out of it, that I'd get money out of it. I said, so let me see. You gave your time, and you gave your equipment, and you received now a bunch of time and a bunch of equipment. He goes, right. I said, so I don't see the problem here. What did you want? He goes, well, I wanted money. And I said, well, if you wanted money, you should have planted money. You should have tithed money. Because if you tithe equipment, you're going to get equipment. And if you tithe, and I'm going to use tithe, but the truth is, if you sow equipment, you're going to get more equipment. And if you sow your time, you're going to get more time. But you're not going to sow time and get money. You're not going to sow equipment and get equipment. That's not how it actually works. There is one thing, though, that doesn't violate it, but it enhances it greatly. And that is the power of education. The more you learn and the better you get. In fact, one of my mentors talks about the acronym KEY, K-E-Y, which stands for Keep Educating Yourself. As you keep educating yourself in whatever you plan on doing, let's look at agriculture. As you educate yourself on better farming practices, you'll receive better crops. And so the education of your sowing will bring a greater harvest and a greater wheat reaping because you become better seed. The sower becomes a better seed planter. Also, The more you, how can I put this? A lot of people talk about their passions. They want to follow their passion. They don't know what their passion is. And it's very simple, guys. It's not anything to really seek and search out. The truth about passion is it's what you practice. If you're practicing something over and over and over again, you're going to get better at it. And as you get better at it, you're going to make more money at it. You're going to get more recognition for it. You're going to get more fame by it. But you're also going to make more money because of the practice. And people don't want really passionate people. Think about it. If you went into your doctor and your doctor wasn't passionate, you'd be like, I don't know if I want this. I mean, I want a professional to do an operation on me or to do dental work. Or, I want my doctor, my dentist, to be a professional. I don't want him to be passionate because passion wanes. Some days you have good days, some days you don't have bad days. But if you're out there like a basketball player or football player, a lot of people know I don't know a lot about sports at all. But I do know that the best sports people are the people who practice all the time. There's a story about a musician who they interviewed him and they said, how often do you practice your instrument? And he said, well, I practice every day. He goes, but you're the best in the world. He goes, that's because I practice every day. If I miss a day, I notice. If I miss 2 days, my wife notices. And if I miss more than 2 days, the world notices. So he practices every day. And that's not passion that brings him up there every single day to play his instrument. It's professionalism that brings him up every single day. It's professionalism that has him learn about his craft and about what he does. But I want to talk about one other thing. We talk a lot about seed. You can go out and you can plant a field. You can plant a field of roses. You can plant a field of corn. You can plant a field of wheat. But you can also plant an orchard. And I want you to think about this too. You don't have to just take the land that you get, the land that you claim for yourself, and use it to plant a field of grass or a field of rye or a field of corn. But what if you planted a field of pears or a field of apples or a field of peaches or a field of olives? You would grow and reap year after year after year after year. But it becomes very important that you pick something that you feel comfortable reaping for the rest of your life, because you never know where this is going to come from. So once again, I want to thank you so much for listening. Remember to like, subscribe, and share this if you found it important or if you found it inspirational. Please let us know in the comments below what you're thinking about planting. Are you going to plant a field or are you going to plant an orchard? And what is your orchard? How can we support you in any way? If you go to nightmusic.com, there's a list of freebies there, including an 8.5 by 11 poster about the Great Law, which is a great thing that you can hang in your bedroom and you can see over and over again. Remind yourself every single morning when you wake up and when you look at it to go plant, whether it's going to be a field or an orchard. Anyway, thank you for joining us today on the Underground Gospel Show, and God bless.